Okay, YouTubers, it's time to take our next step in our close-up look at ring making. Today we're going to be polishing a Morgan silver dollar. Don't go away. Hello, YouTubers. It is Paul from Fat Guy Productions coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're back at the bench because it's still Black Friday weekend, and so coin ring orders are continuing to come in. I guess that's a good thing. Could be a bad thing. I don't know. Depends on your point of view. But I got coin ring orders coming in, and I just got two yesterday. One's for a gold powder coat ring, and one is for a silver polished ring. These are both Morgan silver dollars, and oddly enough, even though they're both going to get different finishes, they both have to go through this step of getting a high polish finish. Okay? If you watch my video on powder coating, you're going to see me talk about polishing your ring before putting the powder coat down. The reason is I recommend using a transparent powder coating, and the polished silver underneath that transparent powder coating really just makes it explode, and it makes the ring look like a gem. It's amazing. So both of these rings are going to get a high polished finish, and I'm going to take you along and show you how to do it. So let's get right to it. All right, to begin with, you're going to need a victim, or in this case, a ring that you want to polish. I have two. So one's going to get a powder coating, one's just going to get a high shine polish, but they're both going to go through the same procedure. You're going to need some blue shop towels, some sandpaper. I like to use 500, 1000, and 1200. Now your ring should be fully done by now, but if you haven't tended to the cut edge, this is where you're going to start. 4.0 steel wool, a gift from the gods. And just a regular old towel is handy. Here's a little piece of flannel. Okay. Oh yeah, a lot of steps in this. And here is the magic jewelry cloth that you can buy at, I bought this at Walmart in the jewelry department. It's a two-sided silver polishing cloth. Thing is amazing. Some Renaissance wax. Very good for protecting these when you're done. Museum grade crystalline wax to protect your jewelry. Now this is the pure nectar of the gods. This is Flitz Polish. I know a lot of guys swear by Mother's Mag polish, but this is the stuff. All right, a drill, and you can see my little bung thing on there. It's just a ring mandrel, and it comes in a kit of 3 different sizes, and it will grip your ring, which is really handy. I'll put a link. Okay, so we'll loosen up the ring mandrel a little bit so that we can slip our coin ring onto it. And because the end I really need to focus on is the cut end, that's going to be sticking out. I'll get it on there and I'll tighten this sucker up so the ring doesn't go flying across the room. Yes, that has happened. We don't want that. It's bad. If you're lucky enough to find the ring, you have to pray that you didn't put a big dent in it. Anyhow, we're going to start to spin this sucker with the 500 grit sandpaper. And what you're trying to do here is, first of all, you're trying to get this cut end really shiny. But also, you want it to be comfortable. So I'm working to round the cut end off. Sanding towards the outside and sanding towards the inside, sanding the surface, and really working it as best I can to try and make this come out perfectly. You see, I'm kind of rounding it over a little bit here. And I will follow through this using the 500 first, then the 1000, then the 1200 grit, and eventually the 4.0 steel wool.
Okay, that is just about going to get it for the sandpaper. And we'll take a good close look at it, make sure it all looks consistent and smooth. There you can see how nice that is. And this is where you really show your customers the attention to detail. All right, so now it's to the steel wool. Steel wool and coin ring making. Magic. Love this stuff. Okay, we're going to spin this with the steel wool. We're going to work it onto the inside as much as possible. Really work that cut edge to get rid of any sanding marks. And we're going to actually start to work the surface of the coin itself. Now you see me kind of rocking it back and forth because the goal is I want to get the steel wool to go over the surface of the ring as it's going right to left, left to right, and I want to get back and forth on it. So we're getting all the little nooks and crannies in the detail polished up with the steel wool. Okay, I'm really happy with that, but let's not forget about the reeded edge. So we're going to have to pop this sucker off, and yes, it is hot. A lot of friction going on here, but we're going to pop it off. We're going to flip it around, tighten it back down, and we're going to get the reeded edge now. You'll notice while I'm doing this, I'm going to run the drill one way, get it really thorough. Then I'm going to flip the drill and, reverse it and get it going the other way until that the reeded edge is just as nice as all of the rest of it. And voila, that's all there is to that. On to the next step. Sadly, there's really no good substitute for getting the inside of the ring, short of shoving your big fat finger inside of this ring and working at it. And yes, I do have a googly hand. I know, see, it looks like my thumb is like not really part of my hand. Well, it is. It was hand surgery. All the years of firefighting really screwed me up. But this is the toughest thing for me because my hand starts to cramp up. But there's no better way to do it than just stick some steel wool between your finger and the ring and get the cranking on it. So get the inside. And this is about what you should have right now. Looks pretty good. Nowhere near good enough. Okay, I said shop paper towels, and I meant shop paper towels. You could use regular paper towels, but frankly, for the stuff we're doing with coin rings, they really kind of suck. So get some shop paper towels. And now, the elixir, Flitz. Boy, I'll tell you what, the first time I used this, so much easier to see noticeable difference. Mother's is great, Flitz is better. So I just splattered some onto the blue shop paper towel and I hold it down with a little tension and just start rubbing the ring around on it. See all that scamots coming off? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Flip it over, get the other side. Get rid of all that scamots. All that scamots coming off means shine going on, okay? At about this point, you're going to have a lot of leftover Flitz piled up on the inside of the ring, so it's the perfect opportunity to shove your finger back inside the ring again and get cranking. Again, I don't know any other better way to do this. You could use your Dremel and a polishing wheel, and I have, and I do. But if the ring is a little bit too small, you really risk shooting that ring across the room again. And so I'd rather do it this way. And here's where the regular towel comes in handy. It's great for getting off the bulk material. This is just a rough wipe down, getting off all the extra polish. You know, I'm not really trying to accomplish a lot here. I'm trying to get all the excess flitz off and, you know, give it like a little bit of an intermediate shine. But, you know, I'm not stressing about it right here. Well, and damn if that isn't looking beautiful, but not enough. Like I said, the towel is really just to get most of the excess flitz off. So I'm going to switch over to my little piece of terry cloth, flannel, terry cloth, whatever, that pink thing that looks like my shirt. So I'm going to switch over there, and I'm get to cranking on this ring with that and take it to its next level of shine. Oh, Daddy, how's that looking? Oh, that is so sweet and not done yet. Nope, not done yet. But here is where we make a drastic change. It is time for the rubbers. Oh yeah, time to don the rubbers because we won't be touching this ring from here on out because I don't want to put gummy, sticky, nasty fingerprints all over all this hard work as I finish polishing this up and sealing it up inside the Renaissance wax. So get your gloves out and let's get back to business here. Now that we have gloves on, we can kind of put that last polish on it before we seal it. Okay, so this is my two-sided silver jewelry polishing cloth that I got at Walmart, and it's amazing how good this thing really works. It really does work. And it's the same old thing. Rubbing it around, the more you do, the shinier it gets. And you got to do both sides of this cloth. You start with the white side, then you flip it over and do the purple side. So we'll do the entire ring on the white side, then we'll flip it over, then we'll do the purple side. Once again, my big old fat finger shoved inside the ring to get the inside. The other day I was doing so many rings. At the end of the day, my hand was cramping up so bad, my wife thought I was going to die. I kind of felt like I was going to. I could not unpry my monkey thumb. It was just locked up. It was pretty terrible. All right, so you see we're using the purple side of the towel now. We're going to get a really nice shine on this thing. OMG. Can it get any better? Well, yeah, I think so. So let's keep going. We're not done. Quit now and you're, well, a quitter. Now it's time to seal our shine up. And we're going to use Renaissance wax, which is a museum-grade wax that they put on their jewelry to keep it shiny and looking nice. And so basically a little dab will do you, stick it on your finger and get to rubbing it in all over the place. Make sure you get a really good, nice, thorough coating. I like to put 2 applications on it. I'll put one on, polish it off, put one on, polish it off. And make sure you get the cut edge and the reeded edge. And especially on the face of it, you want to really work it in all directions to make sure that you're getting every nook and cranny around the details. So just kind of rub it in nice and good. And again, we can see why having just a plain old towel is a handy thing, because even though I'm wearing gloves, it's nice to get the extra Renaissance wax off. So a regular old towel is a good thing. And I'm also kind of just buffing off some of the extra with the towel right now. There we go. Okay. Now we can really get to work on it. I don't have a bunch of the extra Renaissance wax all over my fingers, and so I'm going to just use the regular towel to kind of knock it down a little bit. And yeah, we're going to go from this to our flannel to our jewelry cloth again, just like we did before. Okay, so hypothetical situation here. You could be sitting here watching this video saying, well, isn't that a lot of repetition for little gain? Okay, would you rather have people saying that yours is the king or somebody else's is the king? Because this is where, the rubber meets the road. If you're trying to put out that top quality, this is the kind of attention to detail you need to pay. Let somebody else do this extra step and be above you, if that's your thing. But if you're really going for the gusto, then keep going and do it right. I can't even talk these days. What is that saying? Anything worth doing is worth doing right. And if you're going to sell this ring to somebody, and I sell at a pretty high price, I'm going to do it right for these people. Look at that. Look at that. Seriously, look at that. Look at that. Now ask yourself again, is it worth all these steps? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me go through 2 steps with the Renaissance wax, but I do put 2 coats on, and so, it's all the same thing here, 1 coat, 2 coat. It's all the same steps. And you see here, I'm back to the silver polishing cloth, the 2-sided polishing cloth. This will be the last step in my polishing process. Now, for the powder-coated ring, I would have stopped before putting the Renaissance wax on. I would have taken the ring, gone and given it a really good bath, done the powder coating, the sanding, the curing, and then finished up from there. But this one is just getting the high shine, and so this is the whole process, start to end. Now, I haven't taken to doing this. I have some care and maintenance instructions that are printed on the back of my cards that I send with my rings. Some people take these jewelry cloths and get a pair of pinking shears and cut them up into small little sections and send them out with their rings, which I might start doing. But look at that. Damn it. It looks like a crown jewel. Something the Queen would wear, right? I mean, you can see why now I really love doing polished rings, because look how beautiful they are. You just can't beat that. Look at that. Yes, that's me in the background in my towel-colored shirt. Shiny. You can't beat it. I love it.
All right, well, there you have it. A high polished finish on a Morgan silver dollar. This won't be the longest video I've ever put out, but I can't emphasize enough that this is what you're sending out to your customer. And cutting a corner right here does yourself and your customer a huge injustice. Put a little elbow grease into this. You saw how many times I went over this ring, okay? You might think, well, I don't need to go over it that many times. Well, you really do if this is the kind of results you want to get. Now, the one thing I would tell you is that if I were going to powder coat this one, I would stop before the application of the Renaissance wax. I would take this and I would give it a good wash in some clean water with some Dawn dish detergent and a little Scotch-Brite pad to get off any of the polish that I've used. And then, a little bit of alcohol and heat it up in the oven before I apply my powder coating. And then after the powder coating's done, the sanding's done, and all that is done, and the powder coating is cured, then I would pick up where I left off and finish it by putting on the Renaissance wax and polishing it with the polishing cloth. But that is how you do a polished ring. And let me tell you something. Of all the rings I send out, nothing looks better than the high polished finish. They really just shine and do justice to your work. Worth every bit of the effort. Now, there are a lot of guys who will swear by Mother's mag cleaner, and I've used it, and it does an admirable job. But the minute I tried Flitz, I could see a noticeable difference with a lot less effort. So I really, really do highly recommend the Flitz, but you have to order it and stuff, whereas you can get the Mothers just right at your local Target, Walmart, auto parts store. That guy driving by, he's a real tool. He does that all the time. He thinks he's some kind of speed racer in his stupid truck. Anyhow, we'll ignore him and we'll continue on. So, like I was saying, this is a crucial step in getting your rings ready to send out. Okay, I'm going to do an entire separate video on adding patinas and things like that. There's already a video done for the powder coating. I don't know if I've made it public yet, but it's coming shortly. If it depends on what order you're going around. But powder coat's out there, polished silver's out there, patina's coming. All right, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, ask any questions, make any comments. I really do look at them and try to answer them all. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've tied you up long enough this weekend with all these videos, so I'm going to book it and go do some other things. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.